Welcome back to another video and welcome to your stimulus package update and daily news report. So today there is going to be a vote in the House. This is going to happen later on today. However, this is not on the $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill. This is not on the potentially $3.5 trillion human infrastructure bill. This is just on a stopgap bill for government funding, which would actually provide about $480 billion to the U.S. government. This would hopefully get us into December 3rd or potentially a little bit later. And at that point, Congress would have to come back to the table, renegotiate, pass another debt ceiling increase or suspension, or else we just simply kind of breach the debt ceiling once again. So we'll see what happens there. But here's what we know. Right now, the problem is that Democrats have to do all of this stuff on their own. We have heard from Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, and he has said that he will not help Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer again. He was very upset the last time he did, and then Senator Schumer came out and bashed Republicans. So Republicans say that the only option for Democrats moving forward is to increase the debt ceiling using their one and only budget reconciliation. Well, this is where things get very intense. This is where we see a lot of the debate. Here's what I can tell you. According to Speaker Nancy Pelosi, she says there's an overwhelming amount of support in the House from House Democrats in order to pass a bill that has fewer but bigger pieces of legislation. Now, the other side of that, and where some people are saying this would be better, and this is coming from progressives, is that if we pass the big robust bill, the same amount of pieces of legislation, however, we only sparsely fund them. So the issue there is that some of these programs, they're not going to be well funded, which means they're not going to actually work the way that they should. There's going to be a lot of issues. Well, the problem right now is that progressives want to go that direction because that's what they promised the American people. But House Democrats are saying, no, let's go with less pieces of legislation, but we will fully fund them, because that makes more sense than to just spread out the money in 100 different things, which does make a lot of sense as well. However, here's where the negotiations are starting to slow down. Many are actually saying right now, and this is coming from multiple Senate aides, that the negotiations between the House and the Senate are so slow, mainly because nobody wants their priorities axed from this bill. So nobody, whether it's a representative in the House or a senator, they do not want to see that their priority is taken out of this bill. And so that's where a lot of the issues are coming from, according to the reports. This is why it's going to take so long. And remember, the House of Representatives is trying to work with the Senate, trying to figure out what all 50 Senate Democrats would support first, and then they will create a bill that has the support from both the House and the Senate. Well, the problem there is there's two senators, Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, that are not really being very vocal with other lawmakers on exactly what they want. Senator Sinema says that President Biden knows exactly what she wants. Senator Joe Manchin has told the media, he says $1.5 trillion is where we need to be. But yet, many lawmakers are still trying to push for anywhere between 1.9 and 2.3, because that is what President Biden, he said he's pretty sure we could get there. But again, we'll have to see how close we actually get. What I can tell you, though, is Nancy Pelosi stated that the human infrastructure bill can still have a transformative impact on families in the workplace and address climate change. However, this spending plan, it needs to be agreed upon soon. This is what she's saying. This is what coming from a letter she wrote to House Democrats just the other day. So what we do know at this time is that there are certain pieces of legislation that will most likely be cut. One of those is going to be immigration reform. Many people say that they want to include it. However, it's not something that they can do through a budget reconciliation. The second one is going to be free community college. Many people say that this is needed. This is going to help out millions of people. However, if President Biden is going to come out and pretty much forgive many millions of student loans, okay, or make it easier for people to ask for forgiveness, that's fine. He can do that. And so why do we need free community college on top of forgiveness for loans? Okay. Another thing, affordable housing. I want to bring this up. I want to touch on this for a minute. I mentioned this the other day, how many experts are saying that if you can lock in a long-term rental price or lease, okay, let's say it's 1 to 2 years, they say to do it. The reason why is because many are expecting rental prices to just go up over the next 2 to 3 years. So if you were smart about this, you could potentially lock in a lower rate. Let's say you pay $1,000 per month for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. Great. Well, if in 2 years that price jumps to, let's say, $1,350, and you're still only paying $1,000, you locked in your price and you're looking good. So it's really up to you, but that's what experts are telling us, is that rental prices are going to go up. Regarding affordable housing, here's the issue. We are like 3 to 4 million houses behind. Okay? According to the reports, right now, there's about 3 to 4 million people that are looking for housing. The problem is we don't have it. It needs to be built. It's going to take a little while. It's going to take multiple years for housing to catch back up, for builders to catch back up with demand. And what happened back in 2008, right around the housing boom and then crash, what happened was all these builders were building so many houses, they were overdeveloping, and then when things crashed, then they had to pretty much liquidate a lot of those properties, and a lot of them, it took years. So this is kind of the issue we're seeing, is even though affordable housing is crucial and it's needed, many builders don't want to jump all into affordable housing or just really any housing and go to scale because of what happened the last time. So they learned. So we'll see what happens there. But as of right now, affordable housing is still a crisis. Affordable housing is one of those things that could potentially be cut from this upcoming bill. So just expect, if that does happen, it's no surprise lawmakers were anticipating that as well. Here's something else we know. According to Fox Business, the U.S. is headed into another recession if consumer sentiment trends continue. Currently, many businesses are hiring back their employees that they furloughed during the pandemic. However, millions of Americans still remain unemployed. While many people are without an income, they can't spend money. They cannot go and buy things. They cannot go and buy products, which creates a little bit of an issue. Because once they do get money, and then more people head to the stores to buy these products, well, the shelves will start to be very bare. We're also seeing massive shipping delays right now. That's causing a lot of products and food to not show up in the stores when it's supposed to be. And this could actually devastate the economy during the holiday season, according to multiple reports. Some companies are even going to the extreme. They're chartering planes and ships to get their products into the U.S. as quickly as possible. One executive from Home Depot, she said that this actually started as a joke, but it quickly turned into the best and only possible solution for their company. And this is something that other stores are doing as well. For instance, Walmart, Target, Costco, and IKEA are all doing this in order to get products into the U.S. and into their stores as quickly as possible, especially right now when we're coming into the holiday season. While there is a shortage of products hitting the shelves in stores, millions right now are still short on cash. But here's what many economists are predicting. Economists are predicting that, for one, the holiday shopping season has already begun. Well, experts are anticipating that early holiday shopping is going to lead many stores to be empty by the time we get to December and within weeks of Christmas. Well, if this happens and we see empty shelves, this is when consumer sentiment drops as well. So what we can expect, according to multiple reports, is we are headed into a recession. The end of 2021 will be recession-like. So we will see what this means, but as I know more there, I promise I'll fill you in on that news. We do have some good news for seniors though this week. What we know right now is the cost of living adjustment is going to be announced this week. The cost of living adjustment is determined by the inflation numbers here in the U.S. from the third quarter. Well, we see third quarter numbers tomorrow. We're going to see these numbers tomorrow, okay? The data comes out. The expectation right now, and this is a fairly wide range, is the cost of living adjustment is going to be anywhere between 5.3% and 6.1%. I am under the assumption that it's going to be closer to that 6% range. My guess is 5.9 to 6.1%. I think that's going to be where it's at, but again, we will see. The 5.3 to 6.1 is a fairly big range, but that is what we're hearing at this time. Now, in 1983, the cost of living adjustment was 7.4%. I don't see the cost of living adjustment going anywhere near that this time around, but it could still be fairly significant. What we do know is if it's at 6.1%, that's going to be an average benefit going from $1,555 per month to $1,650 per month. So it's actually going to increase about $95 per month. That's actually pretty good. Here's the problem, and this is actually a major problem. Many of you have addressed this as well. The problem right now is that any increase in benefits could actually see a decrease in other benefits. For example, food stamps, rental assistance, and even Medicare. That creates an issue. Right now, many people have said that they do not want an increase in their Social Security benefits because they have other benefits that are right there on that line. Again, it creates this big issue. Why increase a benefit in one place just to decrease it everywhere else? And then in the end, you're actually coming out behind as opposed to being ahead, which is what we all really need. But speaking of food stamps, here's what I can tell you. The average boost for October was 27%. This is actually pretty good. Starting in October, there's about 42 million Americans that received an additional boost to their food stamps or their SNAP benefit card. Now, this means that the average person is going to receive about an additional $36 each per month. So, you got a family of, let's say, 5 people, you're going to get over $160 per month, right? It's like $180 per month, right? You got family of 2, you get an additional $72 per month. So, it is something. It will help. It's not the biggest increase, but again, 27% boost is pretty good when you're looking at some type of free, or even though it's not really free, it's a government program. So a 27% boost to a government program, pretty good. Now in other news, and this is something that I've been telling you for the past few months, experts are warning us that gas prices are only going to increase. Back in April of 2020, the gallon of gas on average cost $1.77. Now, today, we have reached a 7-year high, which is actually $3.27. Just from last week alone, gas prices rose by 7 cents. 7 cents per gallon. That's insane. CNN Business states that this is actually due to energy demands that have actually come back. Businesses are coming back. There's, the holiday shopping. More people and more businesses are trying to get products into the stores. Kind of just address that. But when we're trying to get more products into the stores, well, it creates the need for transportation, right? There's more workers are coming into work, so which means there's more people paying for gasoline to get on the roads and drive and actually make it to wherever they work, right? Well, that's creating more demand. The problem right now is that even though demand has picked up, supply has not picked up as well. So, with people still waiting to travel, the current global energy crisis not actually going very well right now, right? Things aren't going great. This isn't going to help. These two things combined are not going to be good for the American people. So, if you are currently if you plan on going anywhere, and I know a lot of people say, well, how do I go anywhere? I don't have any money. How do I go anywhere? There's nowhere to go, right? I understand. If you are planning to go anywhere, whether it's down the street, you're going on vacation, anything, now would be the time to potentially buy gas, buy plane tickets, okay, things like that, because experts say the prices are just going to increase. So that is what we know right now, but as always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share more. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.